One bad decision, one piece of failing equipment, or one crew member who refuses to fall in line, that's all it takes for an entire mining operation to collapse in the Klondike.in Gold Rush Season 16, Episode 12. All three of those threats hit at once. Parker Schnabel's record-breaking season starts bleeding gold, and when he traces the problem back to a single excavator operator who won't follow orders, the confrontation ends a man's career on the spot. It's never easy trying to let somebody go, but everybody needs to be a team player, and this guy is not. So we have no choice but to say, sorry, you don't fit here. You don't work. Rick Ness tears open a panel at Vegas Valley and finds something that stops him cold. The discovery threatens to erase every ounce of progress he's fought for since paying off his debt. Meanwhile, Kevin Beets faces a manpower crisis at Sphinx Cut that forces him into a gamble most miners would never take. He rolls the dice on an untested hire. And when the gold scale starts climbing at the end of the week, everything changes. 160, 170, 180, 200, 230, 240, 250. 245, 3 operations. 3 potential collapses. 1 episode to see who survives. Parker's problem. Let's start with Parker Schnabel. Because when the most productive operation in the Klondike starts hemorrhaging gold, the entire mining world pays attention. Parker has been crushing it this season. Week after week, his crew delivers numbers that put everyone else to shame. It's nice to finally be on some ground and be finding some gold and have a good crew. A lot's gone into this and it's really cool to see it working out. His operation runs like a machine. Excavators feed rock trucks. Rock trucks feed the wash plant. The wash plant produces gold. The system works because every piece connects. When one link in that chain weakens, the entire system suffers, and this week, Parker's chain has a broken link that's dragging everything down. His gold output drops compared to previous weeks. The decline comes at the worst possible time. Parker isn't chasing a good season. He's chasing history, a record-breaking finish that would cement his legacy as the most dominant miner Gold Rush has ever seen. Numbers that would make his father proud. Numbers that would silence every critic. Every single ounce matters in that pursuit. Every single day counts, and when production slides, Parker doesn't make excuses. He hunts for the source. The problem isn't the equipment failing. It isn't the ground playing tricks. It's a member of his own crew dragging down the entire operation. The veteran excavator driver, a gray-bearded operator with sun-weathered hands who's been running heavy equipment for 15 years, has become a liability. He came to Parker's operation with a strong reputation and a resume that opens doors in mining. But reputation doesn't move dirt. Results do, and this operator's results have been slipping for weeks. Parker's mine manager, Nona Lovelace, calls him into a face-to-face meeting everyone on site knows is coming. Hello, Taven. Before your shift starts tonight, I was wondering if you wouldn't mind popping to the office here. I'd like to see you. Yeah. Okay, great. Thanks. The crew has watched the tension build. They've seen Nona's frustration mount. Now the confrontation arrives. The operator has received multiple chances to improve. The expectations have been made crystal clear. But the veteran refuses to adapt. He ignores direct instructions. He runs his excavator the way he's always run it, regardless of how Parker's system operates. He cuts corners that create bottlenecks downstream. In a mining operation where every minute translates to dollars and gold, that stubbornness is financially devastating. Nona lays out the numbers during their confrontation. The operator section underperforms by margins that ripple through the entire crew's totals. I've been doing this longer than half these kids have been alive. The operator fires back, arms crossed over his chest, his jaw set. Nona doesn't flinch. Then you should know better than anyone that experience doesn't matter if you can't work with a team. The silence hangs heavy. Everyone within earshot knows what's coming. The conversation ends with no negotiation, no second chances, and no probationary period. The veteran excavator driver is let go from Parker's crew. It's brutal to witness, 15 years of experience walking off the site with a final paycheck. But the decision reinforces the core belief Parker and Nona operate under every day they step onto that claim: if my boss, my senior, tells me to do something, guess what? I think it would still be beneficial if that. See, you're still. I've let you go and you're still telling me that you're right. Get out of here. Honestly, go. I don't even want, go. Discipline wins seasons. Cooperation wins gold. Meeting the demands of the team wins championships. Raw talent doesn't matter if someone can't work within the system that produces results. Parker didn't build the most successful operation in Klondike history by carrying passengers who can't perform when it matters. He built it by demanding excellence and cutting anyone who couldn't deliver when the pressure was highest. The question looming over everything now: did this move come in time to stop the bleeding? Or has the damage to Parker's historic push already gone too deep to recover? Rick's nightmare across the Klondike. Rick Ness faces a different disaster, one that strikes without warning. Rick paid off his debt to Troy Taylor. That crushing weight had dragged him down all season, the shadow over every decision, every gold weigh, every sleepless night wondering if he'd dig himself out. Clearing that debt should have been liberation. The fresh start Rick desperately needed. Last week proved Vegas Valley could deliver. I know that there's good gold down there, but you know, until you see it in the box, you're always tentative. You're always nervous. I'm expecting to see good things, but really right now, I just want to get my eyes on it. It's going to take a lot of pressure off. Rick's crew moved smoothly. Equipment cooperated. For the first time all season, Rick could breathe without debt collectors in his thoughts. Then episode 12 tears it apart. Rick stands at the wash plant during his morning equipment check. Something sounds wrong. A grinding noise cuts through the normal rumble, metal on metal where metal shouldn't touch. He kills the power and moves closer. The sound came from the trommel section. He pulls open an access panel and freezes. The main bearing is shredded. Metal fragments scatter across the housing like shrapnel. All we have is a steel plate with holes welded into it. So when we're washing all this muck down in here, it easily can get plugged up as soon as any rocks, any silt, anything gets stuck in this. The damage is catastrophic. This isn't a quick fix with parts from the supply shed. This is a full replacement requiring components shipped from Dawson City, if they're even in stock this late in the season. Rick's face goes pale. He knows what this means. In the Yukon, this breakdown doesn't cause delays. It stops the gold flow completely. No working trommel means no dirt processed. No dirt processed means the season bleeds out one expensive hour at a time. Every day the wash plant sits idle, Rick loses ground he can't recover. He pulls out his phone and starts making calls. His voice is tight and controlled, but urgency bleeds through every word. Every hour matters. The debt is gone, but his margins are razor thin. A week of downtime could wipe out everything he's built since clearing that burden. 2 weeks would end his season entirely. The scramble begins. Rick needs that bearing shipped overnight if possible. He burns through his contact list: suppliers in Dawson, equipment dealers in Whitehorse, anyone who might have the part. Vegas Valley survival depends on logistics, luck, and how fast Rick can get that bearing before winter closes in and buries his season in snow. Kevin's gamble while Parker cuts dead weight and Rick fights mechanical failure. Kevin Beets does something remarkable at Sphinx Cut. Something that proves he belongs in this game. Kevin started working his new ground with ambitious plans to turn fresh territory into profit. The potential is there. The gold signatures look promising. But Kevin runs into a problem that threatens to derail everything: limited manpower. With Buzz LGO temporarily absent, Kevin doesn't have enough hands to keep the cut moving at the pace he needs. Most miners would accept the slowdown, scale back operations, play it safe, and wait for reinforcements. Kevin makes a different call. He hires a new operator, a free agent willing to jump into an unfamiliar crew mid-season. It's a gamble with real risk attached. He didn't work out there. He might work out here. Only way we're going to find out is, well, try him out. New hires are unpredictable in mining. Building chemistry on the fly isn't easy in an operation that depends on timing, coordination, and trust between every operator. Kevin watches the new guy work through day one. The learning curve is steep. Communication gaps create slowdowns. Equipment handoffs don't flow right. By day 2, Kevin second-guesses his decision. Maybe he should have played it safe. Then something clicks. The new operator finds his rhythm. He starts anticipating what the crew needs before they ask. Communication gaps close. Dirt flows to the wash plant faster than Kevin projected. By midweek, Sphinx Cut runs at full capacity with a crew that's been working together less than 72 hours. The weigh-in arrives. Kevin stands at the gold room scale, arms folded, watching the digital readout climb. The flakes and nuggets pile in the pan. 20. 30. The scale keeps climbing past his mental target. It settles at 47 ounces. Kevin exhales hard, shaking his head as the number sinks in. That's what I'm talking about, he says, slapping his new hire's shoulder. 47 ounces. At current gold prices, that's $164,000 from a single week at Sphinx Cut. For a miner still proving he can lead, that number represents more than money. It represents validation. It represents proof of concept. As long as we keep a good crew going that fits in with everyone, helps us keep going 24/7, get us closer to that 2,000-ounce goal. Kevin faced a setback that justified playing it safe. Instead, he made a decisive leadership move, trusted his instincts, and turned potential disaster into a solid scoring week. He's not just mining anymore. He's proving he belongs at this level. And more importantly, he's showing that leadership isn't about having all the answers. It's about making decisions when the pressure is highest and standing behind those decisions no matter what happens. Kevin still has a long way to go before he threatens the top of the leaderboard. But weeks like this one build foundations. They create momentum. And momentum in the Klondike is worth its weight in gold. The standings: where does everyone stand heading into the back half of the season? The numbers tell a story impossible to ignore. Parker Schnabel sits at 5,350 ounces, worth $18.70 million. Our season total 5,855.9. So we're going forward. Be nice if we went forward a little faster, but we're getting there. That's an enormous total, proof that when Parker's operation fires on all cylinders, nobody in the Klondike matches his production. But first place amplifies pressure instead of reducing it. Every slowdown becomes more dangerous because expectations rise with the totals. The higher Parker climbs, the more any slip feels like a fall. His excavator problem cost him time he can't recover. The veteran is gone. But did the gold slide already damage his record pace beyond repair? Tony Beets holds 3,940 ounces, valued at $13.8 million. That keeps Tony planted in second place. demonstrating his operation continues delivering serious gold even as the season grows demanding and the easy ground disappears. The gap between Tony and Parker is real, but not impossible to close. One bad week for Parker combined with one hot streak for Tony and the race tightens fast. A single rich cut could swing thousands of ounces. Tony knows what every veteran understands: the first half doesn't win championships. The finish does. And Tony has been finishing strong for decades in this business. Rick Ness sits at 440 ounces, worth $1.5 million. Compared to Parker and Tony, that total looks small, but Rick's season was never about dominating the leaderboard against mining giants. It's about surviving long enough to build momentum. We got less than 500 ounces on the season right now, and that's not nearly enough. Well, we're back in Vegas Valley, and that's where we know the good gold is. We got to get back down to the pay layer. Now survival hinges on a replacement bearing and a wash plant sitting idle. Every hour without dirt running through that trommel is an hour Rick can't recover. If he can't get Vegas Valley running within days, not weeks, days, the comeback dies in a pile of shredded metal. Kevin Beets has 330 ounces plus the 47-ounce Sphinx Cut haul, pushing him toward 380 total at roughly $1.3 million. Kevin's numbers don't threaten anyone at the top of the leaderboard, but his season isn't measured by the same standards as Parker or Tony. Every ounce Kevin earns represents independence. It represents proving he can make smart decisions under pressure and handle the weight of leadership when everything is on the line. Sphinx Cut just delivered his proof of concept and the confidence to keep pushing. What's at stake? Gold Rush Season 16, Episode 12, On Shaky Ground, is built on tough decisions and immediate consequences. Parker fires a 15-year veteran to protect his operations efficiency. Rick discovers a mechanical failure that strands Vegas Valley at the worst possible moment. Kevin gambles on an unknown hire and walks away with 47 ounces and $164,000 in a single week. The ground is unstable beneath every operation. The season slips away week by week as winter approaches. And the message echoing across the Klondike is clear: adapt fast or fall behind faster. There's no comfortable middle ground out here. There's no safety net waiting to catch you when you stumble. There's only gold buried in frozen earth and the miners willing to do whatever it takes to rip it from the ground before time runs out. But here's the question hanging over everything as episode 12 ends: Parker needs 2,650 more ounces to hit his season target. That's over $9 million in gold still buried in frozen ground. With his crew in turmoil, his numbers slipping, and winter closing fast, can he claw back to record pace before the Klondike shuts down? Or did one stubborn operator just cost Parker Schnabel the biggest season of his career? The answer comes next week. And for Parker, Rick, and Kevin, everything hangs in the balance.